IBS, Ibu Dr. Titu, okay, and also all the fellow members, as well as all the lecturers and also faculty members of the ITM as well, as for from IBS.
Have a money problem.
This will be, I think, be the starting point for a bigger collaboration between UITM as well as IBS, whereby the chairman a while ago,
or in Harvard University,
a while ago have mentioned about the collaboration that started way back in 2016, and perhaps I think it will go further, and we pave the way for better and greater achievement in the near future, inshallah, by God will. So for this reason, I think to get closer and to work together is something that I'm looking forward. The proverb of African proverb, they have used to say that if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, then you go together. I guess if we go together, inshallah, by God will, we can go far and greater. So I really looking forward for this collaboration, and perhaps I will see the future is ours if we can work together and we can be. To my aspiration is that we want to be some sort of like have a global impact, not a regional impact alone, not between Indonesia and Malaysia alone. Perhaps we can be the global player or have the global impact in the near future. So allow me to introduce to all of you, Dr. Ibu Tituk, about UITM. Perhaps you might know that UITM is one of the biggest universities in the world. Perhaps I may say so. We have about 34 branches or campuses, and we have 34 campuses, and we house nearly 200 students throughout Malaysia, and whereby in Johor we have 2 campuses out of the 34 campuses. So allow me to share the slide for a little bit of introduction of UITM campus Johor. Right? Okay. You can see that this. Okay. UITM Johor is located in the southern region of Peninsular Malaysia. We have, of course, we have the one they call the peninsula. The other one is near the Kalimantan. They call East Malaysia. These are the West Malaysia, the East Malaysia, the Peninsular Malaysia. So Johor is located far south of Peninsular Malaysia, and we have, I said earlier, we have two campuses. Number one is campus Segamat, located in very north of Johor, and another one very south of Johor. They call it campus Pasir Gudang. Our team for the campus is about Symphony, Digital, and Bestari. Bestari means about excellent in terms of education. Digital, we embrace about to have a digital campus. Symphony Alam means that we really go for nature and we live with nature. So we preserve about our nature as part of our we call this team for the university. And these 2 campuses are located, one at the north, as I said earlier, is Pasir Gudang, and one is south of Johor. This is south of Johor, sorry, Pasir Gudang, and the north of Johor, there is campus Segamat. And the campus Segamat was established sometime in 1990. Prior from that, we have a we call this temporary campus. Then we moved to our permanent campus located in Segamat on a piece of land about 541 acres. We developed about 201 acres of land. And the other campus, there is way to the north near Singapore. We have about 200 acres. That is known as campus Pasir Gudang. And Altogether, we have nearly about 800 staff, and this will be the management team of UiTM Johor, headed by me and my deputies here, Dr. Razi, and also Mr. Arif, and also Dr. Sauna, and Dr. Haryana, and the rest. So as far we are concerned, we have our program for Segamat campus. We have programs something to do with management program, diploma level, degree level, as well as we now have our master by research program, and also we have courses from the Faculty of Business and Management, as well as information management, accounting, science, computer, and we also have courses from engineering, and these engineering courses mainly for our degree program. Altogether in campus Johor, we have at the moment about nearly 9,000 students. Our capacity can run to a maximum capacity of 10,000 students, 6,000 for Segamat and 4,000 for Pasir Gudang. Okay. This is all about UiTM Johor, and if I can recap very quickly, we have a business program, as well as we have engineering program, computer science, all kind of engineering, and on the business and social science, we have also they call it information management, accounting, and of course business management. Okay, that's about all for brief introduction of UiTM Johor. So I always welcome to all members, the participant. Inshallah, once the COVID pandemic is over, you are all welcome to UiTM Johor, and we can stay in Segamat as well in Pasir Gudang. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Dr. Ismail. And how about Indonesian Banking School? The Kusumani Tuti, maybe you can share with us.
Yes, thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. On behalf of Indonesia Banking School, I am pleased to continue on the cooperation with University Technology Mara of Malaysia in the field of education, research, and community service. In Indonesia, the Higher Education Act states that the trilogy of higher education dedication, or called Tri Dharma. I also would like to convey our appreciation for the UiTM initiative to continue the cooperation and to invite me to this online meeting this morning. May Professor Dr. Ismail Ahmad and all the UiTM personnel are in a good health always, especially in this difficult time of pandemic COVID-19. I myself joined Indonesia Banking School on the 1st April 2020 to replace my predecessor, Mr. Subarjo Joyo Sumarto, PhD. Since then, the vision of the Indonesia Banking School has been adjusted to meet the challenge of 4.0 digital era, to align with the first priority objective of the new government, and to adjust with the development of the financial and business environment. So the Indonesia Banking School vision in the 2020 is to become the best higher education, to provide human capital with a global perspective in the field of finance and business technology base. We also just finished adjusting our curriculum with the newly government policy in education called Kampus Merdeka, Merdeka Belajar. That is to open an option to the students on the last semester to choose several activities. For instance, having internship in the finance, business entity, then to take some courses in another university. This policy is intended to equip students with more soft skills and to alleviate the link and match gap which often happens between academic graduate and the skill needed in the workplace. With a challenging vision of 2020 and with the ever-growing of the uncertainties, as well as experiencing the journey of this disruption era, I believe that one of the best strategy is to enhance collaboration with mutual partners. Therefore, I would like to thank to ITM again for facilitating this essential meeting. For the addition, just to remind that Indonesia Banking School has an undergraduate studies in accounting, management, syariah, banking, and finance. So the degree is Sarjana Ekonomi. And then we have also graduate study in management, and the title is MSc. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay, I see you again. I'm so sorry for the technical problem just now. Okay, thank you, Dr. Kusumaning Tuti or Dr. Tituk. Okay, all right. So strategic collaboration is all about working together to achieve a goal or an agreed outcome in a positive and mutually beneficial way. It is also an arrangement between two organizations to undertake a mutually beneficial project while each retains its independence. So, Professor Dr. Ismail and Dr. Kusumani Tuti, in your point of view, how do you define strategic collaboration and how would it benefit your organization? Maybe we will start first with Dr. Kusumani Tuti. Please, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Farid bin Sar. I suggest that collaboration, especially international, especially between Indonesia and Malaysia, is very important. This meeting makes me remind of the Malaysian friends. I used the central bank and then continued with the FSA and we were very close with Bank Negara and also all the officers. Myself, I have never been to Johor. They're very beautiful, and I see from the presentation of Professor Ismail Ahmad is a very huge and large campus, and also have thousands of students. The biggest university in Malaysia, right, or in the world. Well, I actually already ready with the recommendation for collaboration. Can you hear my voice?
I'm sorry, Dr. Titu. Just now we had problems with the sound. Okay, okay, you can continue. Okay, Doctor, you may continue with your
presentation. Okay. Now hear my voice again. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. May I introduce first? There are two of the 5 chairs present in this meeting. That is Ms. Pak Gatot is present now, or and Ibu Nuri. So Professor Ismail, I'm sorry, can you hear my voice?
I can hear your voice. I guess you're presenting on your slide. We will really appreciate if you can have the slide on. I guess you have a slide, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
I can hear you and can see your slide now.
Okay, thank you. So this is the part of introduction actually. The next, I already mentioned that we have a new vision just now that we just adjusted this year because of the challenging and also because of the new policy of the government. It means to become the best higher education to provide human capital with a global perspective in the field of finance and business technology. And then next, so, oh, just now, Mr. Barry asked me what is the meaning of and the importance of collaboration, especially with partners overseas. Well, in the era of disruption and uncertainty, this is one of the strategies to enhance collaboration with mutual partners. So I really appreciate that Indonesia Banking School have already signed Memory of Understanding with UITM since 2017. And last year in 2019, we even managed successfully in conducting the 6th International Accounting and Business Conference. Next slide, please. So this shows the picture. Was conducted in Jakarta in our campus, actually in Indonesia Banking School. This is located in south of Jakarta. It's a little bit odd because the campus is actually located in the middle of a residential area. I'd like to continue with the proposal of collaboration, which can give fruitful for both sides. First is academic, in the field of academic, which can start next year, September, in the form of student exchange. That is, student of Indonesia Banking School can spend 1 semester or about 6 months in UITM and vice versa. So student of UITM can spend 1 semester or 6 months in Indonesia Banking School. The exchange will be admitted as part of their transcript. If pandemic situation still continue, we can carry out this by online. And what are activities during the student exchange? Consists of social activities or community services and research. Secondly, the collaboration is in the form of research.
Islamic banking and finance, sustainability finance, and also innovation and digital finance, which is
Hello. Which I propose can be started next month, November 2020 up to October 2021. Both of our lecturers and students can do the research collaboration for journal publication. And the third, this is the topic, I'm sorry. In the screen, we can see what are the topics that can be selected as the interest. Islamic banking and finance, sustainability finance, and innovation and digital finance, but still flexible then. And the third proposal for the collaboration is in the field of, we call it community services. Community services. Please go back to the previous slide. Community services is, for example, giving lecture for selected topics in certain community. And the topic can be also similar to the research topic. And the first method of the collaboration is the student activities. Next slide, please. For example, is English debate team, with which we can start early next month, for example, in November 2020, and it can goes on to next year. Like every 3 months, we can manage to do this online first, if the pandemic is in access, but then if it's back to normal, we can do it offline. And we can just practice it in a friendly way, and then we can build it up into a competition version, and also we can also visit each other for this event. So those are our simple proposal of collaboration. Mr. Ferry, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, for your explanation. Okay, so now we go to Prof. Ismail. Maybe, Prof, as what I asked just now about your definition, in your point of view, strategic collaboration. And since Dr. Kusumaning Tuti has explained on what their institutions can offer to us, UiTM as a whole, and also in particular UiTM Cawangan Johor, maybe Prof. Dr. Ismail also maybe can add up what our university, UiTM Cawangan Johor, can offer to IBS, Indonesian Banking School. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Ferry. I'd just like to echo what has been mentioned by Dr. Tituk on the collaborations. The things that have been mentioned always about having a student exchange and having a dual program. Perhaps what we can think about to have a double degree, something like a kind of innovation. So students can have a degree from made in Jakarta, one and made in Kuala Lumpur or made in Malaysia, whereby the mapping process when end up students have a double degree, and perhaps I think this would be a kind of student be more marketable. They have, okay, look here, I have a double degree, why not? I'm better off than those with just one degree. So we have experience on this. We have a kind of collaboration with University from Germany. So we have called a student exchange and mapping of the program. Some of the program taken in Malaysia, and some of them they did at their hometown. So eventually they have a degree, they have a combination from both universities. So beyond that, I think we also in UiTM Johor, we conducted a PhD program by research as well as BBA program, Doctorate of Business Administration. The class is conducted by coursework plus dissertation. And this, we can have a mature understanding whereby we can have our professor from Indonesia, as well from IBS and also from UiTM, can be on the we call this can teach either way, and the program can done in house or can done over here. For example, few semester in Indonesia and one semester in Malaysia, or the concluding semester in Malaysia, and we can have a joint supervision. That is about the program, and as well as about the degree and master program. As far as I'm concerned, we want it to be a kind of joint supervision, and this give a good impact to the student and exposure the student to the student. And this goes without saying, whereby with the numbers of postgraduate studies were expand, I guess this will result to the spillover is that we were encouraged on publication. We have our own journal up to the era standard produced from UiTM Johor. They call it Insight journals. And this Insight journal can towards scopers. In the future, we can also name some of the journals from UiTM that can be used as a platform for us to have a joint publication. As a result, probably we can have a joint grant, or we can call it matching grants. Okay, so these are things we can spell out in details later on to have the operational details, how the collaboration can be carried out. Again, allow me to use my discussion a little bit on the slide here. Okay, I guess the slide can do the talking as well. Okay.
The journal that I got from Emerald Insight, which is the
Okay, by theory collaboration, as I said earlier, is all about the success. We require the teamwork, whereby we can work together and towards our shared goals. I really enticed by what have been mentioned by Dr. Tuti just now, Dr. Titu just now. All the things that you have mentioned a while ago, this is something that we make it going to happen in the short term within the year 20 to 21. And it's going to be, I think, on a larger and on a very bigger scale when the scenario become on a normal norm. Now we are in a new normal. That is in the pandemic now. We pray that by the time when we're going to make it materialize, we are in the era of a normal norm. Then I think we can expedite things and we can make a bigger impact with the face-to-face activities. So getting together is all about collaboration. And getting to the target or to the goals is how we can achieve our collaboration. So the question, why is the collaboration? I used the word just now. We all think about going to synergize our effort by if we go together, 1 plus 1 is not going to equal to 2. It's going to go equal to 3, 4, 5. Perhaps it's going to be equal to 100 or 1,000 later on. So if we have this kind of thinking about bringing our institution, both our institution, into a greater height, having the strength from UiTM as well as the strength from IBS, I guess with this synergy, the 1 plus 1 will have a greater impact. Believe me, with this, we can bring to a greater height. So these common goals should be embraced by both parties, and we have the strength of all our staff, our academia, and also the strength of our programs and all these things. If we can synergize this, I guess it can give us a greater and bigger impact. So collaboration means that we're transcending boundaries and harnessing competencies. So we're going to go beyond boundaries, and now we're going to harnessing competencies. Means that we have to build up the competencies. I just reiterate again what I've been mentioned just now. We talk about scholarship, we talk about curriculum, we talk about student mobility. Perhaps we talk about lecturer mobility, the staff mobility. With this collaboration, it's going to be easy or easier, and it can be achievable because we can have our student can move from one university to other universities, and this can have a very good learning experience. As well as for the lecturers going to go there to teach one course, and also the lecturer from Indonesia will come over here to teach one course. And beyond that, we can also get together talking about doing our research to bring impact to the university as well to the society and the community, and perhaps we can go regional impact for this joint collaboration. Okay, so I really looking forward for the operational details later on, how we're going to get this into reality, putting our ideas together, and then we can make a difference, and we we can combine our effort to transcend the boundaries and to harness our competencies. Okay, why collaboration? Because many of our people don't know about the things. Sometimes you are doing the same thing, we duplicate our work. Sometimes we waste our effort to get the same information. We undermine our strength because we don't collaborate, and we sometimes encounter with a lot of what you call this wasting of time because of lack of collaboration. I guess with the collaboration, many things can be achieved by our institutes, and this is why we need the strategic collaboration. Okay, by textbook, why this effective collaboration is all about, there must be the element of common goal. There's just now we mentioned about the goal for academic achievement and for the industry development and for benefit to the staff, to the students, to the community. This is our common goals. So everybody knows this process. Everybody knows these responsibilities. And I guess with this, we can get together and by having a good communication, and we can move forward from one achievement to another achievement, to achievement by achievement, from one achievement to a greater achievement. This is thing that I think the strength that we never deny with teamwork, with collaboration. Perhaps collaboration beyond boundaries will give a very high impact from one small achievement to a great achievement, perhaps to a highest achievement we can imagine about. Always we have to have kind of this imagination, aspiration. If we don't have this aspiration, then the collaboration fail on the day one. So we have the kind of collaboration about getting to strength, getting from strength to strength, from achievement to achievement, from for to a greater height. I guess this kind of aspiration will give us a very meaningful and very productive collaboration. Okay, again, this is about the textbook discussion about the success factors for this collaborative work. We have discussed about common outcome, all the external factors. We have the history. You have the element of trust. We have a kind of shared training strategy, leadership, all this thing about sharing of the benefit, the involvement, a good communication, a good support system, and we try to agree to many things that we can share, and with that thing, I guess we can achieve a lot better. We have some kind of agreement, though we have a kind of a little bit of differences, but always agree on something that we are common to. Okay, of course, the leadership with this, the leadership is the one who lead, and the workers or all the other members are the strong supporters, because leaders can't move alone. They have to have all the supporters. I think that's about all, and we may continue afterwards. I will talk later on what will be the way forward for this kind of collaboration. Okay, I'd like to share my milestone, or I figure out what going to be the milestone for our strategic collaboration. Some of them has been mentioned by Dr. Ibu Titu, excellently mentioned by Dr. Ibu Titu, clearly defined, which I think I don't have to repeat all of them. That is what in our mind, Dr. Ibu Titu, and that is what in everybody's mind, to have all this kind of thing to happen. We try to work out on the operational details later on. Inshallah, we figure out by year 2020, end of 2020, by 2021, inshallah, things they will start moving, and we have moved before, and we're going to move further high. Okay, thank you very much. Back to our Mr. Father. Back to the chairman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Dr. Ismail Ahmad. Okay, I think many things have been shared by Prof. and also Doctor. At the end of the day, our mission is to unlock the potentials of our people and also our students. I think also many things have been shared by Doctor and Prof. Ismail. I think can we open this discussion to Q&A, Prof and Doctor?
Okay, if you allow me, I share a little bit for the way forward, and then we open for Q&A. Is it okay?
Okay. Okay. So, Doctor, do you want to add up some more on way forward? What could be offered by IBS?
Yeah. I think I call a little bit what have been mentioned by Dr. Tituk just now. Dr. Tituk, allow me to a little bit.
Okay. Maybe we can start with Prof. Ismail first. Prof. I'm sorry, Prof. We cannot hear your voice. Okay.
Okay. The way forward, I'd like to just echo what has been mentioned by Ibu Dr. Tituk just now, and this has been the one we have designed, and we're going to think about how we're going to achieve this in the near future. Okay, I might put it like three things about the way forward. Number one is about regional academic booster. This is about, as we mentioned just now, is on the academic programs, on the student exchange, student mobility, staff mobility, on the grant, and also on all these things. I guess this is the short-term thing, and short-term and continuous term. And we can also think about later on a PhD program, a DBA program with a joint supervision, and then we were talking about matching of grants, and also we're talking about publication. For example, if we talk about publication, we can have a team of those lecturers from here who write papers, and also lecturers from over there write their papers, and then later on we can have a kind of a workshop whereby everybody try to improve each other and have the partners, the counterpart from Indonesia to have their part in the write-up, and also the counterpart from Malaysia as part of the write-up in Indonesia. So these have a very good kind of paper, and will increase the number of publication, and recognition will come when we have let's say this the IBS and UiTM Johor. The author is from IBS and UiTM Johor, and the numbers goes everywhere. So in the short term, people will always recognize that we have IBS and UiTM Johor. And it is in the academic matters, and they show that their academic contribution, and perhaps they're going to be like everybody is not going to talk something else if they don't talk about IBS or about UiTM Johor. That's the thing. Is in my aspiration. With this kind of publication and with this kind of academic program, it's kind of academic booster to everyone, and perhaps this is going to be something that we are looking forward. Number two, I talk about industry and community effect. Let's have industry. We're talking about, we focus for our banking industry, finance and banking industry. Mentioned a while ago by Ibu Dr. Tituk, that is about digital banking, all this thing. Why not we talk about industry and community? And also the last thing, not the least, about the global impact. I'm going to spell out the milestone here. We have done this, for example, in 2016-2020 is the building the foundation point. This is when we build out the foundation, and we are at the stage of building of our portfolio and collaboration. at this building stage, we have all the thing that we talk about having the seminar and the conference, the publication. We are talking about the synergizing strength and look at the strength and opportunities between UITM and also the IBS. Okay, this is done through conference, webinar, discussion, matching of grant, joint publication, and then I guess it's time for us to develop the framework and the blueprint for the way forward. And the 2021 is about teaching and learning. I guess this is what I'm talking about, the dual degree, to have a competitive program or more than one programs. So we have competitive programs, staff mobility, student exchange, joint solution, and perhaps we can have regional community work. This is about teaching of financial literacy to the community. We have, for example, have the community work for have experience. We have connected. We have a seminar on wakaf, for example, and then later on the wakaf project is done to one community that we carry out in Australia, for example, and we can have one something like this. We have seminars, something like that, and also we can have engage with the community work as well. This is something very meaningful that is the academician doesn't stop with the talking business or doesn't stop in the textbook. We also engage the community. And later on, 2022 or later on, we figure out that it's no longer IBS, but we're talking about regional banking school. IBS is the champion, and whereby regional banking school means that it is about Malaysia, Indonesia. Never mind, we park it in IBS. This will be, and then we do on the quality and accreditation. And to my aspiration, this is going to be Center for Banking and Financial Research and Policy Designer. We have in Malaysia, we have like the Bank Negara, they have a Securities Commission, they have Islamic Banking Research or something like that. But we want to have, now we are talking about Regional Banking School and Center for Banking and Financial Research and Policy Designer. And later on, with the governance and leadership, we figure out to have what we call as Center for Education Research Policy and Development as comparable to ET, IMF, and the World Bank. This is way forward, way forward. In the long term, why not? If you are really recognized and you have to put all your brains and your resources in that, you can develop a center that is competitive or better than to ET, IMF, or the World Bank Center that have the governance and leadership. Okay, I'm very I call this patient on this because all the while we are facing the scenario by the design of the economic, the design of the financial sectors have been designed by somebody else, and we have to embrace and we have to adopt and adapt for whatever they have been designed by some other people. Time has come that we should be the one who dictate what would be the kind of economic policy, what kind of financial policy that should be there, and what kind of products or development should be there in our economy. This is kind of governance and leadership the way forward in 10 years time or 5-10 years time, with a very exhaustive research, with all the kind of grades we produce, all the kind of development we can achieve from one achievement to another achievement. I guess we can reach to that point. As I said earlier, this is always our aspiration and our imagination, and going to something big and something very very impactful to the global, have some global impact. Okay, for 2021, as I said many times just now, this is, I'm not going to repeat it again, talking about social networking, industry engagement, community program, teaching and learning about competitive programs, degree, master, and a PhD, and about quality creation and ranking, the branding, all this thing, intelligent recognition and quality accreditation, and about research as well. So we talk about win-win global partnership between Malaysia and Indonesia, inshallah. Way forward, again, for academia. So With this, we want our academy to have a strong research track record, to have a teaching excellence, international and national collaboration, and then develop the leadership. These are the 4 key indicators of academic success written by Sheda Lebowski in the textbook. So we are perhaps try to have these ingredients. We are missing all these ingredients to our academic lecturers, to our academic institution. So we are making this into a reality with this collaboration. This is our way forward. Yeah. So the success will be teaching, research, service, or engagement, society, and also leadership. These are the 4 key things written by Shenda, and this is the thing we're going to work within 2020 to 2021. And I said earlier, way forward again from academia to industrial design. This is what I said to center. And the center not only about policies and education, we're talking about the center can produce products and policies that is pertinent to the banking industry. And later on, we talk about we have the power on the governance and leadership. Okay, this is way forward. I think that's about all. The 3 elements that I mentioned, and we pass the milestone. We started from today, from 2016. In 10 years' time, we figure out ourselves where are we now, where are we going to be, and in 10 years or 15 years, we can be the leader or the champion of this we call this on financial and banking studies. That's about all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Ismail. So how about Dr. Titu? Do you have anything you want to add up?
Well, that is a very excellent presentation, Professor Ismail, and very advanced and challenging, destination that we were going to reach. Actually, we're not that far in preparing for this meeting. We still struggling in Indonesia itself and in the matter of education. But of course, that is a very, I really believe and agree 100% that the final and the reaching destination is to compete in a global world in terms of not only education, but also research and community services. But let me respond with your proposal on the collaboration. We are putting some very technical and very simple proposal while you are very advanced. I mean, like PhD and MBA programs, and then joint research, which is also similar, and also joint publication, that is a very good milestones. And I even surprised with the very short term challenging. The milestone is ending in 2022, very short time. But I like to express here that on behalf of with all of our colleagues in Indonesia Banking School, that we will be committed to this collaboration. We will try with a very high effort to meet what can be done, what can we collaborate. But of course, with due respect, I would like to say that, of course, we will also consider our capacity, whether we can also directly go with the very high ambition, but we will make a try. So maybe in first of the realization, perhaps, is how can we continuous get together by do some activities together, like the debate, the debate event, and then student exchange. That's very simple, actually. And then we can also continue with the degree programs, but also first of all, we must do the exchange of the lecturer. So joint teaching is because the meeting of mind and the culture that also we need to establish and strengthen in order to go together, to be able to follow your dreams and your vision. That's very, very high. And to be a global competition. But we will try, Professor Ismail. Looking at our previous collaboration, we have done it successfully. Then I have a belief that it will be followed in the future events. So that I can say. But of course, I really appreciate and really very honored that a big university like UITM in Malaysia will continue collaboration and will bring us together to have a big result for our students, for our human capital of both countries that can be dedicated to each of our country and nation. Mr. Vari, that's my response. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Titu, for your explanation. I think many things that we can collaborate actually. So before that, for those participants, if you can see in the commentary section there, the chatting section, you can post your questions there. Okay, and if you have any questions, I think I can, Prof and Doctor, can we open the session for Q&A?
Sure.
So if
I cannot answer, Dr. Tito will answer for.
So if there is anyone you want to ask anything, maybe what kind of support that we can get from or could be offered by UITM Johor or IBS, you just can voice out your question or just text your questions through the chatting section on your right. Anybody?
Nak ikut je. Banyakkan sikit nak buat soalan nombor 2.
Okay, maybe I got one question here. Okay, during COVID-19, many industrial sectors had impacted. How to ensure the sustainability between university and industry for long term for Malaysia and Indonesia? Because we know that industry contribute a lot of funding for university development. So funding also is very important to UITM and also IBS. So this also will help to, to strengthen the collaboration between these two universities. So we can start with Prof. Ismail, your point of view on this question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Question, Of course, when we talk about pandemic, we are in the situation of recession. Like or not, recession. Correct me if the figure is wrong. We have millions of factories closed down, up to 100,000, million. At least 5 million people are jobless because of pandemic. The effect can be very obvious for the private sectors. And for the public sector like us, we are public university, government-owned university. We are also going to have the impact if the recession and the pandemic going to continue or to prolong. That's why it's good for us to curb the pandemic, to shorten the pandemic life and talk about a normal life. Now in the era of they call it pandemic, here we are perhaps in the situation of recession. The only one can survive is that if the country have enough reserve, okay, reserve to live during economic uncertainty. That's why I always think about time has come for the policymakers. Later on, we don't even know when the economy has recovered. That if the economy has generated the income, whatever it is, don't forget to have the reserve. The reserve we talk about for the nation to live for the next 100 years or whatsoever. This is what I call about reserves. So for the public sector, for the moment, the government have the monetarium and we still have the reserve. If you were to ask me, if the things is going to continue for a few years, we are going to suffer. Everybody going to suffer. If the things are going to be a temporary setback, of course, the government still have the reserve, as well as companies also have the reserve. And things, in order to sustain at the moment, the new normal, they are talking about things going virtual. Many things go virtual. Many things goes online. Many goes on digital. So the digital industry, everything is now on the rise. The demand on the rise, and those countries with now like those country with the background of agriculture, they are more resilient with this kind of economic scenario compared to a heavy or highly industry-based economy. So country like, I guess, Indonesia have a mixed economic base that is more on agriculture than industry. If you are more on agriculture like Thailand, like Vietnam, they are not getting so much affected because they are agriculture based. As long people want to eat, want people to live, the effect is lesser than compared to those who purely on the industry-based economy. And the other thing is that when your reserve is depleting, you don't have enough reserve, then you're going to suffer most. As far I'm concerned, for this kind of sustainability funding to IBS and ITM, we pray that we have the reserve to survive for the short term and also for medium term. And we also have to pray that this pandemic to end very soon. And this is may I call the third wave. We almost reaching to the point that we have numbers of pandemic is lesser, but then the number rebound again. Then people start not to worry about it. But this pandemic, there is ways to come in, and this pandemic has affected the economy, and of course will affect about our funding and sustainability. So to be frank, of course, somehow or other we can meet in terms of virtual meeting, in terms of virtual meeting, online meeting, but you talk about the mobility, about getting better funding, all those things. The answer is the situation is not so permissible at the moment. So we have to live within a very constrained and limited budget. But then, of course, the economy have in Malaysia, as far as I'm concerned, the economy have dropped by 40 to 50% than the normal capacity. But we are still moving. Okay, we still need to pray that this pandemic will overcome, and then we can continue to sustain. As I said earlier, unless we have enough reserve, then we can sustain. I could remember our CEO of Petronas at one time is keeping the reserve. When people ask him, why don't you spend with a lot of money? He answered that, I'm preparing the nation to live for the next 100 years. This kind of mentality, if everybody have this kind of mentality, prepare the nation to live for the next 100 years, we have enough reserve and to sustain for the next 100 years. Somehow or other, the COVID-19 has affected our funding, our budget is consumed our budget. Of course, our capacity is limited by have this virtual and also within the new normal, and be online, something like that. We believe that, inshallah, we pray for it as well, the economy recover and things get to normal later on. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Titu, do you have anything you want to add up to the question?
Hello, can you hear me, please? Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, nationwide, of course, we are just one of 215 countries that impacted by COVID-19. It's a situation that has never been happened before and cannot be compared with the Asian crisis 97, 98, or even global crisis 2000. So the government has decided to issue stimulus in 3 areas: fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus, and restructuring, financial restructuring stimulus. And a lot of fund from the budget are reallocated for the social health, especially the percentage majority is for the health. And since around 2 months, 3 months ago, it is realized that economic has to be managed as well. And so not only from the government program, but also the economic sectors, especially sectors that are not relying on the import materials or from the overseas finance, like agriculture, that like Professor Ismail mentioned, and also like the property industry. And there are some that needed the attention of the government. We have a contracting economy since the first quarter of the year, and even minus in second and the third quarter, but it's improving. And hopefully in the fourth quarter it will be, it's still minus maybe, but a little bit improve. So with the loosening of the physical distancing, but the very strict health the economy is like showing a rebound right now, already showing a little bit rebound, and we have a positive and confident that the following year, the beginning of 2021, will be better. Also, the growth of the economy will be improving. In terms of micro, in terms of education, we in Indonesia Banking School can feel it, that even a lot of the parents of the students lost their job or got the reduced income because of the situation, especially who come from the small and medium economic,
Income.
Small and medium enterprise. But we have already committed, and we said to all of our students in Indonesia Banking School that we will never drop the student that their parents got difficulties because of the COVID-19. So we create a scholarship. it Gotong Royong scholarship. Gotong Royong means, what is it in English, Gotong Royong? It's like cooperation scholarship, and we go to the corporates, whether they have a CSR for that, and some are contributed as a donor to this scholarship, and we use it to help these impacted students by creating a criteria, especially criteria that they economically has badly impacted by the COVID. And then secondly, that they are a serious student, very diligent student with a good university achievements. And also the third criteria is they have a good behavior as a students. And also we launch a policy that allowed them to install for the school fee. So even us got the impact of this. So well, hopefully that will be soonly ended. But we still see that perhaps we will still go with the online learning, online examination, online consultation. So everything are online now in all university. It's a policy from the Minister of Education that up to December 2020, everything has to be done virtual. And perhaps it will be continued until first or second semester next year. So 100% are done online. And the campus or the office activities, 25 to 50% done. So we are not allowed to gather a lot, although now it's already loosening, but still the health protocol has to be upheld very strictly because the COVID is still there. And it's not yet, in Indonesia especially, it's not yet showing the slowdown. It's still show a positive patient every day. But we have a confidence by continuing educating the society to obey to the health protocol, then this illness can be cut and also hopefully can be ended, hopefully also by the end of next year. I think that is my response, Mr. Berry. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tito. Okay, so we have a few questions as I can see here in the chat room here. Okay, the first one from Puan Jaslin. So, Assalamualaikum panelists. Is there any plans for our two universities in promoting dual degree or micro credentials program? So maybe Prof. Ismail, maybe want to respond to this question?
Thank you for the question. So I think this is a thing going to be on the table by next week or by next month. Things that the agenda are going to talk about on the collaboration. So as of course, I guess the Indonesian side as well as in the Malaysian side, we have all the NQAs, they call it the educated bodies that went to look at our curriculum design, something like that. But I believe that if we really sit down and we can adhere to all the requirements of this the Ministry of Education, they have the standard, the quality standard of accreditation, Malaysian NQA, Malaysian quality accreditation. They put on all these things. So the next move is that to put everything on the table, and then we have to have the committee to look into to do the mapping between our curriculum, the curriculum with our counterparts, and then to design the kind of teaching and to get the approval. Okay, I've done once with from Toulouse, uh, uh, Toulouse, France. From France, we have a dual conformant, and also we have done with few other universities. So the answer is that we have to sit down and put on the table and to figure out what will be the common courses and what will be the what will be those courses that we can agree to compromise, and also for the design of the teaching and the deliverables. Okay, that is all about technical to me. Thank you.
So how about Indonesia Banking School, Doctor? Do you have any plans to promoting dual degree or micro credential program?
Well, for first, I like to say that we have the knowledge. We have the knowledge. We have the lecturer, have the practitioner who ready to teach for that micro prudential, because our relationship and the owner of the university of this school is owned by the central bank, so we can easily get the practitioner to teach, to combine with the knowledge. But to establish a dual program, I think we need to sit together to talk about the details. This is a very interesting. So we can just sort it out by discussing with the UITA. Mr. Rary?
Okay, thank you, Doctor. And another question here from Mr. Oswald. Mr. Oswald Timoni Edward. So his question is, do we have a common platform for lecturers networking or communicating with each other? I think what he means, maybe communicating between two universities. Do you have such platform? Maybe we can start first with Dr. Tito. Will you respond to this question?
Well, I think this kind of platform can be established quickly because of our culture, and historically we can be communicate smoothly. So it's only a matter of time and initiative. Thank you.
Okay, I also agree with Dr. Tito just now. We can expedite this thing and to have the platform, probably in a way of let's say we go to our website. This is the place where we have one we call this icon. We can click on that and then get to all the information and get to the right person. We can have all this. Okay, and staff mobility. If we can arrange it properly, we can have our lecturers teaching over there. At the moment, if we agree later on, we can have in terms of online teaching. Okay, I have done this. I used to teach in Germany, for example, and we have a German counterpart came to Malaysia teaching in Malaysia, for example. So we also have I also used to teach in Indonesia, been invited by to be a visiting lecturer over there so many times. Very used to teach in Indonesia. So this is quite interesting, this kind of experience. As far as the staff mobility, we make it a reality, inshallah, for next semester to come. Itu inshallah.
Okay, another question here from Muhammad Azrul Naim. I think this question is more on the perspective, what kind of support that university. Okay, the question is, we are currently facing a COVID-19 pandemic. As an academic, what can you suggest to us as students in preparation for industry involvement, perhaps strategy or adaptation to new norms? So maybe Prof. Ismail, you want to respond to this question?
Okay, just to reflect on what has been asked, the scenario now in Malaysia, for example, we have one semester the students are attached with the industry. They call it industry attachment. They work something they call it practical training. They have what they have learned in class, now they do in the industry, whereby some of the industry due to the economic scenario, due to the mobility factors, they are stop taking or they reduce the numbers. So there are two things here. We still have industry that agree to take, and some industry agree to be the practical training or industry attachment to be online, and some of them still want us to be on a physical unless they are not in the red zone. Number two, if the student talking about their employability, I rather suggest they can start up with doing online business. We are now preparing a platform for all our graduates to start having the products market online, number one. Number two, you can also start with a social enterprise. There's a very long discussion about social enterprise to set up business. Number three, there are also initiatives by universities whereby students can, if they have the innovative idea, whereby they can propose the idea to our university. And for example, they want to start a kind of business, they lack of capital. University is ready to support them with with certain amount of capital for the start of the business. Looking at the business plans and that, and also we also open for business opportunities within universities using the universities facilities or equipment, something like that. So that's about all I think. And then, of course, as I said earlier, the student always talking about how are they going to do after they graduate, looking at the economic scenario, which is not so encouraging. As I said earlier, you start thinking about become a small or medium entrepreneurs. We can talk about online business. We can talk about social enterprise. We can talk about having a proposed idea of business, and you can have been a partner. We can talk about entrepreneurship. We can assign your proposal to certain our partners industry, so they can, for example, they can be part of the capital holder or the business holder of your proposal. Okay, these are the avenues aside from you getting a job in the industry or getting job with the government sectors. That will be things you can consider to be considered. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so Dr. Tito, do you have anything you want to add up? You want to share?
It's about industry attachment, right?
Yes.
Well, actually, a couple of years in Indonesia Banking School here in Jakarta, we already exercise what we call it internship for our last semester students. So we have a cooperation with financial institution like bank or insurance companies or financing companies, but also to the accountant offices and also such as international companies too. So they can take this option, all the students in Indonesia Banking School, to take this and put it in the transcript for about like 4 months, so they can study, they can experience the feeling of how is in the real world, because then they will do the real work. And sometimes after they graduate, they are already hired by the same institution that they have internship. And now during the pandemic COVID, perhaps only half of it still accept offline, but we managed even around 41 corporations still participating and accept offline internship. So this is actually a good practice to decrease the gap between academic and the real work, the real situation in the workplace. And even the government policy of Indonesia, the new Minister of Education now put it in a law that all the universities, all the higher education must apply this, what I just mentioned in the beginning. They call it Kampus Merdeka, Merdeka Belajar. One of the alternative to give option to the student during their last years is to take this internship program. So by doing this, then the feeling of the industrial attachment is already in an early stage recognized by us and also by our students. Thank you Mr. Reddy.
Okay, thank you, Prof. and Doctor. And there's another question here on student exchange. I think Dr. Titu and Prof. Ismail also, you have touched on this student exchange. Maybe do you have anything you want to add up on the student exchange? For example, how we can make it possible. For example, like how they can apply for the student exchange and so on. So maybe we can start first with Dr. Titu about student exchange.
Indonesia Banking School has already an arrangement with a university in Thailand with the student exchange. I mean, before the COVID, so their students come here for 1 semester and then follow the lecturer and also get the grade from us, and then we cooperate with the university. So we have the experience already with this exchange. So it will be, I think it will be smooth if we continue also with the UITM. I even think that if the student is the last year of semester, in the last year of their program, they can also form internship to have an experience how to have an internship with the center, with the, we call it OJK, Financial Services, FSC, because before the pandemic, our student can have this for about 4 months, and then they will be placed in the regional offices, depending on the interest and the allocation of the office. So we can also arrange that only for the student that is already in the last years, like 6 or 7 semester. Okay, Mr. Rary.
Prof. Ismail, do you want to, do you have anything to share on this student exchange?
Yeah, as I said earlier, there are two things here. One, really purely on the academic student exchange. That is whereby the students are attending the classes and they have to look at the curriculum which we agreed later on, and these are common courses that the student can have the credit transfer from there to here. So it's something that is permissible and feasible to do it. Sometimes we also have student exchange in the form of they have a kind of training or social work. And there's another form of student exchange. For example, our student go over there or the student over there come over here for kind of leadership training or short courses, and then they have a kind of community work. That is another form of student exchange. But the majority part of it is almost talk about the one that have the courses taken overseas or over there, or the courses from Indonesia to going to take it over here. And the issue of a student come over here or go over there is we have to discuss later on is about the accommodation, apart from the syllabus, about the student accommodation, and also talking about the fees. All this can be we can spell out and agree on later on. For example, with our agreement, for example, this mobility doesn't involve any much cost on both sides, something like that, to make it like a meaningful agreement. This is something you can figure out later on. And about the student internship or practical training, we call it here, or something called internship. Yes, if we pray that the economy recovers soon, the pandemic will over, and we can also with this MOU to have the placement. Quite interesting if our student can be placed over there, and the student from Indonesia can be placed in Malaysia. We are the financial industry. I agree with that. We can figure out later on. The step number one, pray for the economy to recover first. The pandemic is over. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. and Prof. I think this one will be the last question. Before I read these last questions, there is one suggestion from Mr. Oswald. He would like to suggest that both institutions, UITM and also Indonesia Banking School, need to work on organizational development intervention in enhancing this fantastic collaboration. So thank you, Mr. Oswald, for the suggestion. Okay. All right. So this I think will be the last question. Okay. The question is about the research collaboration between Indonesia Banking School and also UITM. So the question is there any opportunity for research grants from Indonesian Banking School, okay, and also from University Tanjung Mara Cawangan Johor? So opportunity for research grant. Maybe we can start first with Prof.
Of course, we have different kind of grants, and number one, we call it a matching grant, whereby this matching grant, we can match, let's say we have common interest, and the amount raised by Indonesia, we also can raise about the same amount to have this grant to be carried out. Number two, we can also have a special grant on certain areas, make it our what we call this, our they call it our local grant, and also our grant from outside grant is our national grants, whereby we can put the proposal, the research is going to be with interest with overseas counterpart. We can be as a partner research. The proposal will come that this research has a little bit of the boundary is can be for the regional impact. And number three, for your information as well, UITM, they have the Center for they conduct about research and publication. They call it PJI, Jaringan Industry. They call it Industrial Relationship and Alumni. Whereby this industrial relationship, this center will organize all the activities. So, organize activities with regard to having we call this, we have our dual conference or conference together, matching of grants and also about publication. So this center, so we will design something like, we get this center and the Center for Indonesia to sit together and to figure out what kind of grant. They have a matching grant, a grant that come from our university, that can be our partner participation. Also, as I said earlier in the discussion, to have a impactful publication with numbers and quality to publish together. Okay, so we try to have this thing. We try to figure out and make sure that it's going to happen. This is something that is something that can be delivered or can be achieved in a short run. Okay, okay, it is permissible, inshallah. Thank you.
So how about Dr. Tituk? Maybe there is any opportunities for the lecturers from UITM Chong and Johor who have any research grant from Indonesian Banking School?
Well, there are some grants for research in Indonesia Banking School, but we have not yet experience to do it jointly. So what we need is I agree with Professor Ismail that we need to sit together to see what is matching and what is the benefit and impact for the regional concern, and also whether this can be subject to can be approved to this kind of grant. So this does need a further talk. Mr. Berry?
Okay, I think that's all our Q&A session, and that provides us the conclusion of this program. Thank you to all the participants for your questions, and also thank you to Prof. Dr. Ismail Ahmad and also to Dr. Tituk for your response. Okay. So before we end, on behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank our panelists for today. Once again, Professor Dr. Haji Ismail Ahmad, Rector of UITM Chongan Johor. And then we also have to say thank you to Dr. Kusumaning Tuti Standri Harmi Sutiono, the Chairman of Indonesia Banking School, all the top management from both institutions, lecturer and students. Okay, so we hope whatever we have discussed, whatever inputs that we had today can benefit not only for the lecturers, okay, and also benefit to the students as well. Okay, so I think that's all our academic leaders discourse for today. Okay, so thank you very much for your participation. So hope to see you again, and friendly reminder to the participants, you can see on the chat room, okay, there is a attendance link for you to fill in. Okay, this attendance link is not only for University Teknologi Mara Chongan Johor, and also is also for those participants from Indonesia Banking School. So once again, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Ismail Ahmad. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, everybody.
To all the lecturers and students, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See you again.
Thank you very much, Professor Ismail.
Okay,
Hope to
thank
see
you very
you.
much.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
everybody.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum.
Ketemu lagi ya, Bu. InsyaAllah.
InsyaAllah.
Allah
Okay,
semoga.
jumpa.
Thank you.